I believe that in Season 2 of Bridgerton, we should focus on addressing concerns that people had with Season 1, including race baiting, colorism, featureism, and the perpetuation of harmful stereotypes, by giving greater agency to existing Black characters and by introducing new Black characters that can help explain the racially separated past that was briefly hinted at but not expanded upon in Season 1. The first problem I want to address in the new season is race baiting. Race baiting in this context would be claiming to address racial issues but not following through. We had a very diverse set of extras in the background. They were all characters of color, but not many main characters. The topic of race was also only briefly mentioned.
We were two separate societies, divided by color, until a king fell in love with one of us.
We mentioned this topic in the first season, but didn't follow up on it. I believe that it's only right to address the comment made in Season 2. We can do this by addressing the past that is briefly mentioned and talk about what life was like when there were two societies separated by race. I want to use the current king's illness to stir trouble between the two communities. Let the society know that their king is in far worse health than they thought, and watch as the queen tries to keep her social standing and keep people of color from falling out of favor. This will also have the added benefit of giving the queen's story more emphasis. We could add flashbacks of her meeting the king and their struggle to be accepted by society as an interracial couple. I also believe that we could use Simon's flashbacks to emphasize this racial past by commenting on the fact that his father was so hard on him because they were trying to survive and keep their new social standing. There's a lot of pressure in controlling a dukedom, and that could have led to Simon's father pressuring him. This would also help to explore the commonly found concept that Black people have to be twice as good for half as much in a white-dominated world. This new plotline will help make explicit what was implicitly implied in Season 1 by talking about the integration process and getting flashbacks of the king and queen falling in love and the worlds being integrated, especially since the king's health is declining. It would make a lot of sense to give this more background and make this a point of conflict of will they be able to keep their power or won't they. The other problems I believe we should address are colorism, featureism, and stereotyping. Colorism is prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. There are only 8 Black characters with speaking roles currently. 3 of them are dark-skinned, 2 men, and 1 older woman. This is the character of Will, Simon's father, and Lady Danbury. The rest of the main characters are light-skinned, like Simon and the Queen. Featureism reflects how different facial features are seen as more acceptable for actors and actresses than others. Certain facial features show certain descent. Many Black actors and actresses either have African features or Afro-Caribbean features or Eurocentric features. Simon, the main character, is light-skinned and has more Eurocentric and traditional features of beauty, as you can see. The Queen, on the other hand, is light-skinned but has more Afro-Caribbean features. Lady Danbury and Will, the boxer, are darker-skinned but don't have as important roles as Simon. As far as stereotypes go, then, Lady Danbury can be viewed as a mammy-like stock character since her main role was raising Simon and guiding him throughout the season. Then, the character of Marina was a really promising character in the beginning. She was a light-skinned Black girl new to town and was getting a lot of attention from all of the suitors, but she became a cautionary tale and fell into the stereotype of a Black woman who was loose and ended up pregnant and then had to do something shady to try and cover it up. Simon's father also fell into a stereotype as he was the darkest-skinned character and was also seen as the most evil character within the show. To address these issues, there are a few things that I think we should do. We should address colorism by giving greater agency to dark-skinned characters. I want to dive deeper into Will's character and the fact that he threw a fight to get money for his family. Show more of the reality of what life is like for him and his family and why he felt the need to throw his boxing match for money. He is a really great character that doesn't get enough attention. I think we can focus more on him and Simon helping him now that Simon and Daphne have their happy ending. This would be giving greater agency to a dark-skinned character that is already a part of the plot. We can also address the fact that inclusion of people of color was lacking in a meaningful way by creating more plot points for characters of color with all types of features and skin tones that were seen only in the background in season 1. I think that when diving deeper into the past, we should have characters like Lady Danbury and Simon's estate manager and some new characters of color help explain the past and in what ways the society was separated. We can show how the past affected them and what they had to do to survive and how they got to where they are today. Adding in these new elements throughout the season will help address some of the problems that people had with the first season, while giving these Black characters more of a part in the plot and exploring the past. It will be interesting and suspenseful, allowing the story to flow in a natural way and expanding on points brought up in the first season. Instead of just being visually inclusive, Bridgerton will be actually inclusive. We will avoid tokenism and expand on these characters' lives and stories.